For anyone who knows me, knows that I've never been a fan of the messenger. I've always been a fan of the message. That's why whenever I see the message is not messaging, I disregard whatever the messenger had brought out. The only once I spoke something about this VDM and Bilod issue, I said it, I'm not for Bilod, neither am I for VDM. But at the center, I was like, why are we dragging so much attention to this thing, whereas there are more important things in the nation to put our attention to? I know, yes, you will say, this one is so important. I'm not saying my anger is that why is this thing about who is going to China to bring the cheapest? Who is going to China to crash the price? Whereas none of them is going to China to bring that machine that could aid us or help us aid faster to be able to produce those things, to be able to produce those phones, produce those things here in Africa. Whereas the actual resources that is needed for those things to be produced are in Africa. Almost all those phones can't work without a chip that they get from Congo here, from Congo. That's why I give an instance with a man who went to China and saw something different, whereas VDM went to China to be telling us how it is cheap there. I must say, no, why not let us look ahead? You think you could make the nation better or make things cheaper by just going to get the cheaper price? What if we could produce this for ourselves? Okay, let's say producing it for ourselves is a long way to go. We are still far from it, not because we are still far. If we actually mean it as a nation together, we're able to do it. Why not talk about the custom? Custom is one of the biggest reasons why things are expensive in this country, not the people importing them. They will tell you, like, example, they bought something from 5 naira, for 5 naira in China or in any country. They will use 10 to 15 naira to make sure that thing enters Nigeria. Even in our borders here, cars that come through the border, rice and things that come through the border, you know how much custom service they pay due to bribery and corruption. So why tackle a small issue where you have a big issue at hand? You are pinching yourself because of just a pimples here, whereas you have a boil in your armpit, you can't close your hand. Why not use that same strength to first fight the custom first? When you win the custom, you know who or what is the reason for things to be expensive. And at the same time, why not fight the government that have failed to implement a constant regulation of price of things? Or fight the government that have made things so hard for business people. You didn't know tax they pay? You know the ratio. Local government, state government, federal government, different people come and say they are tax collectors, and you think they don't pay tax. And here they are trying to implement a new tax reform policy, and you are saying no. I just see it sometimes. We like distraction. You see that thing they are doing is just distraction, because I believe if truly he is an activist, like he said, he will look at a bigger picture, not going to China. That's not no. Now there are bigger things to fight. If you fight those bigger things, those smaller things will be easy. Like, it will be easy. You don't need to fight it. It will fight itself. Fight the custom. Fight the bad government that is making us not to produce on our own. Then you won't have to fight how much they are selling in China, how much they are selling in Nigeria. Just a simple thing. But you worship the messenger every time. You always worship the messenger, and you don't get to think about the message he brought to or brings to your doorstep. You consume it without even thinking.